was getting hit hard with targeted ads from Skylight, and I kind of wondered if it was just more hype, like they were doing a good job on the marketing. They were saying things like, I'm hearing mom way less. I was also hearing things like, it just keeps us organized, and I just wondered if my kids would truly be into it. Well, I kind of pushed it to the side, and my birthday was coming up, and I noticed that in our Amazon cart, some speakers popped up, which I had mentioned to my husband that I was gonna get some speakers for my office. And I thought, if he spends $250 on speakers when I can get just fine speakers at the thrift store, I'm gonna be so sad. So I went ahead and just told him, I said, hey, I don't want a birthday present, but if you are gonna get me one, I'll tell you what I really want. And he said, send me a link. And so I sent him the link for the Skylight. I truly did not think I was gonna get it. A few days later, I was budgeting. I was going through our expenses on our budgeting app, and I saw the expense for Skylight, and I lost my mind. I was so excited. And so I said, no. He said, your whole family pitched in, and then that night, the Skylight arrived on our doorstep. So me opening it up was like Christmas Day. I was barking at the kids to get back. It's my new toy. You're not allowed to play with it. And I was setting it all up, and I want to run you through. I've only had this thing for 2 or 3 days, and it has already been such a game changer. Now, I think that the reason why it's a game changer, number one, I am personally overstimulated pretty easily. The more that I hear, like audible noise is pretty activating for me. Unnecessary mom questions of what should I be doing next, what's for breakfast. All of that is the minutia that gets in the way of me actually being the mom that I want to be, which is being present for the things that I want to be talking, engaging with them about. Like I'm not available emotionally when I'm being dragged down by the like practical or the tactical questions. My kids are at the exact right age, 5, 7, 9, and 11. So they're self-directed. They're able to do almost everything for themselves. And so our system before the Skylight was something like this. This is just like on glass, and they were to use dry erase marker. I would say that they followed this list maybe 30% of the time, and the check mark wasn't giving a dopamine hit. And also it was like every single day is the same. So they kind of knew what was coming. Like it wasn't anything new. And also there were no rewards built into this. Since we have the rewards on the Skylight, it has been insane. So the factors, my kids love rewards. Kids are the perfect age. If I want a kid to check for eggs, it doesn't have to be that single kid's job every single day of the week, which gets mundane and kind of boring for them. I can spread it out. That makes it more fun to check and see what's on the docket for the day. Now, each chore I assign a star amount, and those stars are accumulating in the rewards page for something that we've decided on. So the kids told me what they wanted to work towards, and then I decided the points, the stars amount that would get them there. So for example, the cheapest one I think is a piece of candy, and I assigned it for 100 points. Daughter Lennon, she wants to get a second piercing in her ear, and so that I made 500 points. I think that the fact that they're working towards their particular reward is why they're so self-motivated. And also, one little random thing is like after they get done with their entire list for the day, final check mark, an emoji kind of like sprinkles on the screen, and the kids love to see what emoji they're gonna get. And so we've kind of made it a game, like I hope I get this emoji, and then we just see what happens. The reason we went and hung it vertical instead of horizontal is because we have height differences in our family. So our 5-year-old obviously is a lot shorter. The older kids, I really did like the way it looked horizontal. We have a small house, and so actually like getting it on a wall, since I got the freaking big one, finding a wall space that worked for our family was kind of tough with the horizontal, but the vertical works because half of the screen where she's checking off her list is on the lower half, and then the older kids plus us are up on the top part of the screen, so it's more like hand level. A few hacks of ways that I'm using this that I think might be a little bit out of the box but have been really helpful, and maybe you can take them and it'll work for you. The first one is not making all the chores the same thing every day. So basically what I talked about with the eggs, taking a chore and dividing it where Monday is one kid, Tuesday's another kid, Wednesday's another kid, and Thursday's another kid. Each kid also does have one chore that's theirs. I tried to make it a space that they most often inhibit. So like the dining room table, for example, my son Mac tends to always leave his messes on the dining room table. So I went ahead and gave him that chore every single day so that he can start realizing that he's having to pick up his own stuff every day. Same with the bathroom for my older daughter, same with the living room for my younger daughter, etc. Thing I'm absolutely loving about it is the meals portion. So basically I go in and do all my meal planning for the week on Sunday. It generates, if I click the recipes that they already have in there, it generates the ingredients list for me to then access on the app on my phone while I'm at the grocery store. So in a matter of 20 minutes, I had all of our meals planned. And I do like to sometimes do online order groceries. That would be so easy and awesome. There's a way that you can click Instacart and automatically have them ordered. I personally just went to the grocery store this week and did it, and it made it so much faster because it broke it down into sections: dairy, bread, all of the grocery store areas. So that made it really awesome. And so far our meal planning has been perfect this week. The other game changer is having everyone assigned a laundry day. When I think about what days practices are for those kids and what days most likely they're gonna have the sweatiest or yuckiest clothes, I try to put their laundry day on the day after their busiest day so that all that can get done immediately, and also kind of organize it so that they're not overwhelmed on a day they have school, practice, and then laundry. The next thing that I'm doing that's helping me so much is, a long time ago when I was a kid, my mom listened to a book called Fly Lady. I actually really recommend that you get this on Libby. It's a free library app that you can listen to audiobooks if you're willing to wait for them. So get Libby, plug your library card information into the Libby app, and then you can listen to this. I actually think this is a better listen than it is a read. The whole idea of this is to organize your house and get it systemized to where it actually works for you and doesn't drain you. I do want to put a pin here and say, one of the things that I notice about myself as a type A person who likes having a lot of things going on, sometimes I have mistaken maintenance tasks for productivity tasks. And what I mean by that is I will almost attack my house as if it's a project, instead of getting into systems where we're just in flow. And what I've realized through Fly Lady and just developing systems in our house that have made it more simple is that when I have things on routine, they don't have to take up project energy, which I can then put towards creative or career endeavors. And I really, really love having that space. So the way that Fly Lady works, and this would work for any cleaning home organizational system that you want to use, I plug it into my chore list as their system into the chore list. In my Skylight calendar, it literally says 15 minutes this area, and it repeats weekly. So through the whole week, if I do my chores of 15 minutes towards those areas, eventually at the end of the week, my whole house will have been deep cleaned, which is just amazing. Bonus points if you have a small house like I do, it makes it so much easier. Now, one of the things that I have also really loved is my husband is a handyman and he works all day, and his mind is very involved in what he's doing. And so I feel bad texting him and telling him, hey, do you mind doing this? Hey, do you mind doing this throughout the day? I've decided to not communicate with him at all about that. And I just literally his Skylight chore list. And what that has done for us is freed up our communication to not have to be about what I need him to do around the house, and rather, hey, how was your day? How can I support you? What's going on? How are you emotionally? So it has freed up our communication to not have to be spent in ways that really, they matter, but they're not meaningful. Again, it's kind of the maintenance versus productivity conversation. Our conversations now get to be about other things, and when he's available to help out around the house or he has an extra space, he can check his chore list and do whatever's on there, and that is put on there by me. So it's totally a win-win. All in all, I am so thankful that I got this. So I want to know from you, if you have a Skylight, how do you use it? What are your tips? If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I would love to make more videos like this if they're helpful for you. and subscribe, and we'll see what happens. So I made this video having no idea that I had a referral code, but now I'm at the end of editing and I'm gonna throw it in there. It's in the description. If you wanna get a Skylight, use my code. I guess I get 20 bucks and you get $20 off. So it's a win-win all around. I hope you enjoy your Skylight. If you get one, let me know and maybe we can chat about it over on Instagram.